Hi, my name is Elliot Pryor and I took the issues in Anthropology and Climate Change module at the start of 2021 these are a couple of my reflections upon it, including beginning with a poem by Elizabeth Bishop called Sandpiper. The roaring alongside he takes for granted, and that every so often the world is bound to shake. He runs to the south, finical, awkward, in a state of controlled panic, a student of Blake. The beach hisses like fat. On his left, a sheet of interrupting water comes and goes and glazes over his dark and brittle feet. He runs straight through it, watching his toes. Watching, rather, the space of sand between them, where, no detail too small, the Atlantic drains rapidly backwards and downwards. As he runs, he stares at the dragging grains. The world is a mist, and then the world is minute and vast and clear. The tide is higher or lower. He couldn't tell which. His beak is focused. He is preoccupied, looking for something. Poor bird, he is obsessed. The millions of grains are black, white, tan and grey, mixed with quartz grains, rose and amethyst. So in that poem, Bishop shows this bird continuing its life in a state of controlled panic. It's focused intently on the minutiae of existence, whilst also aware in the background of the kind of larger forces at work, which in this poem is the Atlantic, the roaring sea. In the Issues of Climate Change module, a lot of the essays examined this or even demonstrated this state of controlled panic, whether it be Norgard's ethnography about climate denialism in Norway, or Latour's articulation of Gaia, which I still haven't got my head around. But why I found this module so interesting and fun is that it took some scalar imagination, which is a phrase from Deborah Cohen. If we're thrown in at the deep end, we're made to consider, the overwhelming consequences, injustices, symbols, and narratives which whirl around climate change. But for Cohen, the Anthropocene or climate change is there's a consistency with history, although it has been massively intensified, new knowledge in the natural sciences has inspired new creativity and human imagination before, and it will again, and to engage with this kind of new phenomena, it's going to take some serious historical hiking, making full use of the artistic, poetic, ethnographic and scientific tools which we have at hand. By doing this, I found myself seeing cars, activism, scientific modelling and projections, and terms like the Anthropocene in new, sometimes bewildering but mostly kind of refreshing ways. And probably my biggest takeaway was that, whilst it's important to think big or, on a planetary scale, this shouldn't distract from taking responsibility from what is directly in front of your nose, that was directly as a consequence of the discussions which we had in this module. So I really enjoyed it, and I just wish it could have been in person.